Here's
Yeah.
our results, John. Take us through
All
them.
right, here we go. John Allen is our top qualifier with a 138.231, just behind. Only, let's see, 64 thousandths behind is Wyatt Gooden, then Matt Cresci. Andres Prieto, then Forens Arabian Eric Foss, Adam Fosnacht, Gun Kim, Harry Voigt, Mario Jukic, Alex Schwarzenberger, Justin Piscatel, another pro shoe, right there. Then Nate Olsen, Dan Williams, Austin Edwards, Brandon Pandos of the famous Racing Pandas family, Ismael Basso, and Jason Walsh. That's on my screen, your top 18 qualifiers. All right,
So
less than a
now,
minute till we go green. So, Will, tell me how all this works.
yeah, so they're sitting in their pit stall and they get to review their times and their fast laps and their video and whatnot, replays, and then they hit grid and the car goes to grid. Once all the cars are populated, we'll get the lights. All the red lights will come on and then it'll go green and we'll be racing down to the turn 2 hairpin.
Green, green, green. Well, this is a cool shot. You can even see the iRacing hauler there was in the background. You know, we have seen those for years, and they've got it done up with proper livery. I mean, the track is totally realistic. You can't see the octagon where it shakes when you're sitting in it. And the octagon, of course, is there with the big Yokohama banner. That's a very, very old building, and I was broadcasting there, and we could. It's a little might need a little carpentry work because it was shaking around when the wind was blowing, but what a beautiful track. Great character. Totally awesome. 15 seconds away from green, folks. Once again, this is the NASA Sim Racing League. This is the club race from WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca. All right, we are waiting for the start. That's going to be John Allen out in front. And we're watching for the lights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do it. Off they go. Nice Bernie's there. I'm not talking Bernie Sanders. I'm talking burnouts going up the hill a little bit down into turn 2. Looks like a pretty clean start. They're probably going to go 4 or 5 wide in my experience. Top 3 with a nice breakout, a good hole shot on the rest of the field. And here comes the excitement. Let's see, Will. What's the over-under on if they'll get through clean?
Man, I see a lot of cars making up some time there in the back. It looks mostly clean as our leaders get out through turn 3. Nice and clean, a nice little breakaway with John Allen, Wyatt Gooden, and Matt Cresci headed through turn 4. Eric Foss chasing them down.
Now, do they have to lift going up the hill to avoid a sound violation?
No sound and no fog in beautiful WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca in Monterey, California today, as they go by the sound booth right now.
Yeah. And folks, if you don't know, there's usually some pretty serious sound restrictions at Laguna when you're there, and often people will come up with these crazy exhaust systems to try and not bust the sound meter and all kinds of strange things, and people popping out of bushes with the sound meters where you don't expect them. But what a great facility. And here we go down into the corkscrew, hairy turn there. You basically can only see over the hood of the car, and you aim for one of the oak trees and hope that everything works out okay. Top 3 with a nice breakaway coming down into the final turns before the straightaway. All right, we're watching the running order here as they are coming down the track.
Running order's a little off right now. It's shuffling. That's going to be John Allen, our leader. It looks like, actually, it looks like Wyatt Gooden got it from John.
All right, there we go. All right, so we did have some wrecked cars there, and that's why you see it. So it is like kind of Thanos snapping his fingers, and cars will just disappear off the course. So we're starting to learn how that works a little better. But there's your first lap complete. We're working lap number 2, 30-minute race, 2 minutes a lap so far. Wyatt Gooden, John Allen, and Matt Cresci all out in front as they go under the bridge there. This is always an exciting turn here where if you really blow it, I saw this during the historics when someone carried way too much speed and just yeeted it right into the tires. And you can see a lot of dirt's happening there, but a lot of clean racing up at the front of the grid. Looks like Gooden is starting to put a little bit of distance on John Allen and Cresci, but they are all right together. Right now, P4 is Eric Foss, Andres Prieto, Gun Kim, Adam Fosnacht, Harry Voigt, Forens Arabian, and Mario Jukic. That's your top 10. Once again, folks, we would like to thank our sponsors. You can see it up there at the top right of your screen. Toyo Tires, Hawk Performance, and Competition Motorsport. They are sponsoring the NASA Sim Racing Leagues. This is the club race from Monster. I almost said it again. It's from WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca.
You know, I was hassled every time I didn't say Mazda Raceway for many, many years under that contract. So it's literally been beat into us.
I didn't see it as a hassle, but I could almost feel John Dunan's disapproving glare coming up at me when I blew it. So all good, all good. We love our relationship with Mazda. John's doing great now over at IMSA, and it's cool to see our little world of racers. Same good folks all over the place. Always a great big family whenever we come to the track. We hope to be able to welcome you back to the physical track soon. But again, we are racing online with iRacing. Wyatt Gooden and John Allen right there. That's your top two. Having a great battle. And Will, I can't believe the camera angles we're able to get. These would be physically impossible on the track. Like this one right here, the Grasshopper cam.
Yep.
All right, we're
It's
seeing
really
a
cool.
little bit of, again, some shuffling over there in the results, and that just made glitch happening here and there. It showed Dan Williams, our NASA Rocky Mountain director, coming out in the front, but I think that may have been, again, the Thanos snap that put him into the pits or something.
Yeah, the way I understand that scoreboard is that when somebody behind the leaders crashes and resets into the pits, it puts them in front of it on the scoreboard. So bear with us. We got Wyatt Gooden leading John Allen and Matt Cresci down the corkscrew. Looks like Matt's worked hard to catch back up to John Allen. And any type of battle in this top three, as we see, let's 4th, 5th, and 6th place catch back up to him. We know Eric Foss has the ability to strike on any one of these folks, so this will be interesting.
Well, and we're seeing a lot of the same names kind of up at the top of the order, and it's really cool to see, pro racers, also pro iRacers, and our club racers that have, been with us forever, and it's cool to see them all mixing together. I know in some of the other leagues that I've been looking at, you can actually race with some of the pros. They'll just pop in. But I did see that Kimi Räikkönen is not a big fan of simulator racing. He was saying, I don't like to do simulator racing. It's not like real racing. Leave me alone. I know what I'm doing.
That's right.
All right, folks, our timing feed is coming back up, and you can start to look at those gaps and those intervals. That really starts to tell the story. That group of the top three of Gooden, Allen, and Cresci, they're about a second ahead or 2 seconds ahead of Eric Foss. And then Andres Prieto is 2.5 seconds behind Foss, and Gun Kim is almost 3 seconds behind Andres. So a little bit of a spread happening there as we get down through P10. We're looking for hard chargers, of course. We see right now that Jared Zackham is up 12 positions from where he started, currently running in P20. But remember, Will, how many cars started this race?
There was 60 cars put into the session. It appears we're having some funny stuff where folks sign up and
whoa,
nice.
Derek Quint with a big old bunch of oppo, but he kept it off the wall. Nice job.
Yeah,
hands.
there was 60 cars put into this session, so a lot of excitement, a lot of close racing, especially in the Spec Global MX5 Cup car. So good stuff going on here.
Yeah, and great big fields are a lot of fun, especially when you're all in the same cars. But I mean, big shout out to our friends at the 24 Hours of Lemons. They do huge fields regularly, and that looks, that is just a ton of fun and really well-run organization there. So that's also really fun to do. So hopefully all of us in our racing world will be able to welcome you all back soon to the racetrack, because I know we are jonesing to get back out there. But for tonight, this is the NASA. Whoa, yes, Will.
Sorry, unfortunately, it looks like John Allen dropped off. That puts Matt Cresci right on Wyatt Gooden's bumper, and Andres Prieto, Gun Kim, and Eric Foss battling it out right behind them.
Ooh, John must have had a pretty good shunt. Well, we're trying to figure that one out, but John Allen must have had a little bit of a big one there, a moment, as we call them. Brown flag violation. Oh, and a big hit there. That's a terrible place to be stalled, right there in turn 11. Whew, put her in reverse, baby. Get out of there. All right, you see all kinds of excitement there. That's our leader, I believe, Wyatt Gooden right now. They're showing Eric Foss. That's the battle for P6, 7, and 8 with Foss, Fosnacht, and Arabian. They're all right there together. You can can see they're all stuck right together. So that is the battle for kind of the top 10, the bottom half of the top 10. Gooden and Cressy now right to get a little bit of separation. Cressy's about a second back from Gooden, and Andres Prieto is about a second back from Cressy. And Gun Kim is starting to gain on Andres Prieto to challenge him for the last step on the podium. Harry Voigt, he's about 4 seconds behind Gun Kim. On board right now with Gun Kim. He, of course, is trying to chase down Andres Prieto. He's about only 3/4 of a second away from Andres, so that's probably Andres there in the red car. Whoa, Gun got a little loose under braking. Coming into, I believe that is turn 2. Very tricky complex here. If you get it wrong, you lose a ton of speed. That is a high-speed zone because you're coming off the front straight into 2 and now back under the bridge. And this is one where you can lose it too. And then you have to keep momentum here because you're going uphill all the way to the corkscrew, and it's a big climb.
Yeah, the last 3 days, John, we've been doing a lot of testing, running this tournament style, making sure it was going to work great.
Oh, and Eric Foss crashed. Look at him going down the order. What a bummer. On board with Eric. Oh, right where he lost it. Bang, he gets hit again. Oh, no. Oh, that's a terrible place to be. That's a sinking feeling. All right, back live on the leaders right now. Gooden and Cressy right together. Andres Prieto also making up time. And Gun Kim is right there too. So we're starting to see a battle happening for that top 4. Harry Voigt's still pretty far back from Gun. Right now about 9.5 minutes elapsed out of our 30-minute race. Working lap 6 right now.
Yeah, John, the last 3 days, we've been running these test tournaments to test this new format, and Matt Cressy and Gun Kim have run in every single one of them and been at the pointy end of the field. So they've got a lot of laps in this actual car at this track with very similar weather settings. So look for them to be good at the end too. And if they get to race each other, they've been racing each other super, super clean, super exciting, really close. They know each other's good and weak spots at this track. It's going to be exciting.
Showed you a little bit of Eric Foss there. There he is again. He had a big shunt, lost quite a few positions now in P24, but I don't think he's going to be down there for long. All right, we are looking for
current.
Go ahead.
Sorry about that, John. Looks like our current hard charger is Ken Kurtz, making up 12 spots up to 16th from his starting position right now.
There he is in the number 29, the 29 outdoor gear, of course, over American Canyon, California, big sponsor of our NorCal program, run by the great Jerry Kunzman. He is out there at 29 outdoor gear. Ken is representing their shop. I personally am a customer there as well. Lots of neat toys. All right, folks, well, we are now working lap number 7, 11 minutes out of a 30-minute contest elapsed. Wyatt Gooden putting on a... Oh, there's a big one. All right, that was Derek Quint. He had the big Dorifto earlier, so he must have done another clutch kick.
I think that was Dylan Quint earlier, actually. It's a bummer to see both Quints have an issue, both in turn 2. They're matching liveries. It's a real bummer.
Must be a family thing, right?
Yeah, I have to give them a big shout out to family members that have been running the number 3 and the number 8 since they were kids in carts. Really cool. Love seeing family members run number 3 and 8, the throwback to the Earnhardts, and I love it.
Very nice. Of course, we know it's Raise Hell and Praise Dale, baby.
Yeah.
All right, folks, we are live. The NASA Sim Racing League, sponsored by Toyo Tires, Hawk Performance, and Competition Motorsport. We are live from WeatherTech Raceway. I didn't say Mazda Raceway, Laguna Seca. I'm John Lindsey, broadcasting from unincorporated Yolo County with friend Will Faules in Austin, Texas. Of course, the races are brought to you by our good friend Pj Losey from iRacersResource.com. He's our producer tonight. We usually have the great Roman Weissman, who is producing our online races, with the assist from Aldrin Villanueva, who does all of NASA's sweet contingency plans. Get yourself a membership and get you some of that, because there is all kinds of deals to be had once you have your NASA membership, and you can access our iRacing leagues and the NASA Sim Racing leagues if you have your membership.
Yeah, one thing I'd like to talk about real quick, John, is the club league. We broadcast the first week as a test, but the club league series isn't set up to be broadcast all season. The pro series, with an entry fee, pays for its own broadcasts, and we're going to continue to do the pro league. But tonight was just a test, and big thanks to PJ and iRacers Resource for doing that. When we post this video, down below in the comments, we're going to have a link for a donation to the broadcast team for doing this great work tonight and bringing us this broadcast. So give a shout out to iRacers Resource. Smash the like button on Facebook and go check them out. We're doing some cool driver profile stuff as well as all our results and season championship points on their website. So there'll be a lot more on iRacers Resource to come this year.
Yeah, and Will, the evolution of broadcasting is just crazy to me. So when I started, we were in, a formal booth with a truck, with cameramen, with all the the camera operators all around the track. It was a six-figure plus production. And now you and I are sitting at home with PJ working, on our production, and all of it is being done online. So it just keeps getting simpler and simpler and simpler.
Yeah, it's really fun. A lot of people send us notes on what they think would make it better, and we try to make a lot of changes with the scoreboard and the tracking and the names and stuff. Pretty soon we'll have people's pictures for what, like right now it's displaying Matt Cressy in the bottom left. We'll have a picture there for him, and really cool stuff. It's funny when you talk about the old truck. I remember our last championship event at Miller Motorsports Park, now Utah Motorsports Campus, where we're supposed to be later this year. We had to run cables to every
Yes,
single one of the
it
cameras
was
there, and
insane.
now we've got PJ operating all the in-car cameras, the trackside cameras, as well as our drone shots, all from his broadcast booth outside of Chicago.
It is super cool. And also a hat tip to our usual NASA production team with Roman and Aldrin. They do an amazing job for us and really have evolved the live productions that we do for the championships and for the 25-hour. So we hope to expand that. Of course, we have kind of our NASA Triple Crown. We have the champs, we have the 25-hour, and of course we have Hyperfest, which was supposed to be taking place in May, but has been moved, I believe, to late July, and that is a great event. If you can get to Hyperfest, it is an absolute experience. It's it's a bucket list. All right, folks, we did get the call that we are halfway. 15 minutes elapsed in our 30-minute contest. Again, this is the NASA Sim Racing League, and this is the Club League tonight. 60-something racers started, and in the Highlander format, only one will win. Right now, Wyatt Gooden, number 17, putting on an absolute clinic. He's a second and a half in front of Matt Cressy, but Andres Prieto and Gun Kim are right there challenging Cressy. So once again, we're seeing great racing all through the field. Looking down, we see that Jared Zakim is up 12 positions from where he started, along with Ken Kurtz. I think that was Anthony Nguyen was also up big time.
Yeah, another one of my Texas buddies. He's a shoe here in the local region.
Awesome. So we are, again, folks, we apologize for the broadcast issues we'll have, and we'll try to chop it up later and make it a little pretty, and you can watch the broadcast in a little bit better motion. We have had server issues and ISP issues all day, and we're working hard to resolve that, but we'll keep talking as long as we have something to talk about. So we are again at Mazda Raceway. Good Lord, WeatherTech Raceway. WeatherTech. Beetlejuice. We're at WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca, in lovely Monterey, California, virtually. Even though I'd love to be down there right now. That is one of my favorite racetracks to visit. I'm kind of a gourmand and a foodie, where I like to go find all the hot spots to eat around the track. Will, what are some of your Laguna Seca favorites?
Oh man, I love everything. I'm as well a foodie, and when you started to mention that, there's what's that place just up the road from the track?
Oh, the Baja Cantina?
The Baja Cantina is always a good time. Funny enough, when we went to the championships, our team, our operations team, we ate at Bubba Gump's on Cannery Row every night. Cannery Row is just a good time. Bubba Gump's is always
Right.
a good time.
Yeah, that was an interesting time when we were there. That was the year that I had the television in my room fell off the wall and hit me in the head. I remember what a nightmare that was. So that was we stayed in this just janky hotel. Yeah, and it was quite a time. But I tell you what, there's a number of restaurants there on the water. I always love the Fish Hopper. That's right there by Bubba Gump's. That's a great place to go eat. And actually, in the Monterey Bay Aquarium, the restaurant there is pretty solid. I think it had some connection with Alice Waters at some point. And then there's another place called Gianni's Pizza that is just super. That's right there by the aquarium. So now I'm
Love it.
hungry.
I love
I'm
it.
really hungry.
I'm craving a cup of West Coast clam chowder now. That's
Chowder.
just that in a sourdough bread bowl. You know, we don't get that fresh sourdough like you guys get on the West Coast down here in Texas. So that's
Very
a
spoiled.
craving.
Very spoiled. Working lap number 12. Wyatt Gooden's still out in front, a second and a half in front of Cressy, Prieto, and Gun Kim. Looks like Cressy and Prieto are having a nice battle. Gun Kim is about 2 seconds back from them. Harry Voigt about 8 seconds back from them. And then Aiden Fosnacht about 9 seconds back from that group. So a little bit spread out, but some very good racing happening. And we do have contingency prizes available, of course, being supported by Toyo Tires, Hawk Performance, and Competition Motorsport. Very thankful for our sponsors sticking with us during this unprecedented time in motorsports. And we're trying to bring you something fun to do on Tuesday nights. So this is the NASA Sim Racing League. This is the Club League. And we are at WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca. Right now on board with Gooden, as Will had mentioned, he is a pro sim racer in iRacing, so he is clearly putting on a master performance this evening. 2 seconds ahead of Andres Prieto. But Prieto and Cressy are right together. Let's focus in on that battle. There they are right there. Cressy in the 51 car with Andres Prieto just ahead. Now, it's interesting. If you look over at the best lap time so far, that does belong to Prieto with a 1:38.21 in this race. So that is why he is staying in touch with Wyatt Gooden. But Wyatt Gooden is just running good, consistent laps and staying out in front. Right now, 21 minutes or 20 minutes down of a 30-minute session, working lap number 13. So we probably have another 8 laps, Will. What do you think?
You're going to be the mathematician, but yeah, that sounds about right, John.
Well, I'm no mathematician, which is why I went into legal work. But you know, all I have to do is multiply hour by billable rate, and then I'm pretty good to go. But this is exciting, folks. Again, we are focused now on the battle for P2 and P3. That is number 23, Andres Prieto, just out in front of Matt Cressy, running the number 51 car there. Headed towards the famous corkscrew corner, I believe. A little freeze in the feed there, but that is a very iconic corner. Huge drop. I mean, Laguna Seca is very hilly. And I can remember the first time I went through the corkscrew, I was getting an orientation lap in a Mercury Grand Marquis. And I was in the back seat, and all you could see was the hood. And there was just nothing. It was like, oh, God, we're going into space. But the instructor that we had, this was for the NorCal Shelby Club, just said, point the nose of the car at that tree and you'll be fine. So God help you if the tree's gone. All right, we are looking at Nate Olsen right now. Where's Nate running? He's our P9 car. Looks like he has Justin Piscatel, who is a pro driver, and Brandon Panis right there. Great battle for P10 or P9 between Olsen, Piscatel, and Brandon Panis. Brandon, of course, the son of the great Jim and Julie Panis, our NASA Southeast family. Jim is a pretty good driver himself. Had quite an incident at Mid-Ohio at the championships a few years back where he actually saved someone from a burning car. Do you remember that one, Will?
Totally crazy. Super crazy. I remember Jim's eyelashes all burned, his visor melted on his suit all burned up, discolored. Crazy time.
Yeah, Jim literally ran through fire to save another competitor. So Very cool, great racing family. And here is Brandon doing really well in a pretty stacked field here at WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca. I almost said Mazda again.
Looks like my good buddy Daniel Records, NASA Texas CMC drivers, our current hard charger, up 23 spots from his starting position up into 28th.
Whoa, and
And
there's a
the
little bit of an
Wreck-It turn
incident.
6.
Oh, ouch. Justin Casey, I think he managed to get both walls. Nicely done. And then all of a sudden the Thanos snap and he's gone. All right, well, we do have Gooden still out in front, a second and a half in front of Prieto and Cresci. Another 1.88 seconds from Cresci to Gun Kim, and then another 6.5 seconds to Harry Voigt behind Gun. So Harry must have gotten tangled up in a little bit of Fender music. We're not sure. And again, folks, we are battling some data issues. We appreciate you sticking with us. We really appreciate you joining us here on Tuesday night for the Tuesday night fights in the NASA Sim Racing League. And this is the Club League. Pro League will be next Tuesday evening. We'll get you some more information on the broadcast time. And we won't be using our old reliable friend, the Global Cup car. We will be using is it a Dallara DW12?
Yeah, it's the Dallara DW12 Indy car with the road race arrow.
Wow, very cool. So, Will, what are some of the other cars you're thinking about working with on future races?
There's a legacy Australian V8 touring car that's going to make an appearance at some point. The Gen 2 Daytona prototype is going to make an appearance, and the SR8 Radical is going to make an appearance in the Club League as well. So that'll be fun.
Well, what do I have to do to get you to maybe, get the Citroën Deux Chevaux into the mix, or, maybe something interesting like a 71 Beetle, something really good that it really challenges your skill set?
I like the Bug, and I think that there's actually a Fun Cup car in one of the simulators.
Right. Oh, that's
but
cool.
I can't even spell that other car you said, so I don't even know what that is.
That's French. Can't you tell by this outrageous accent? All right, folks. 25 minutes down, which means there's 5 minutes left to go, probably about 3 laps. Wyatt Gooden still out in front, but the gap is lowering. Andres Prieto's on a tear. He was a second and a half back. Now he's only half a second back, and he is flying. He had a much better lap time, about half a second better than Gooden last time. So Andres Prieto and Matt Cresci is glued to Andres' back bumper, so they are coming for Wyatt Gooden. On board with Prieto right now. I believe that's Gooden right in front of him. It is. That's the blue car. So Andres is coming, and wow, he may have it. Does it look like Gooden's tires may have gone away a little bit, Will?
It could have been. Like we talked about last week, you got to take care of these tires. They fall off just like a real life pro race slick does. And according to last lap, Andres is quicker than Wyatt right now with a 138.97 last lap, and Wyatt's 139.4. So it's going to come down to racecraft and seeing, getting there is half the battle. The other half is getting past him and holding the position. So we'll see how this plays out.
Look at Prieto's rearview mirror. Matt Cresci is all over Andres. Good, consistent lines, not falling off at all. You can see Andres is having to put a lot of wheel in there. There's Cresci, and you can see Prieto and Gooden just ahead. Now, you have to be careful because we are following the NASA CCR, so down the straight, you'll only have one move or else it'll be considered blocking.
Yeah, we saw Wyatt Gooden show a little bit of his cards at the Pro League at COTA and trying to break up the draft. This isn't as much of a drafting track, but everything counts when it's this close.
All right, exciting stuff, folks. We are at almost 27 minutes, so 3 minutes left, probably 2 laps. We'll be watching for the white flag probably next time by. Then the checker. This is the final stages of the second NASA Sim Racing League Club League. This is the second race. Last week we were at the Circuit of the Americas. This week we're at WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca. All right. Oh, here we are. We're seeing John Allen's crash. Oh, he got some help. And then right around...
Big bummer to see that.
He's lucky he didn't get collected there. That could have been really ugly. All right, here we are. Prieto, Cresci, and Gooden. Those are your top 3. And here they come. They're probably going to get the white flag this time by, if my electronic spidey sense is correct. maybe that's a little improvement. You know, we have a hard time trying to figure out when the white and the checker are coming out, and so maybe that's a little improvement we can suggest. But man, oh man, mad props to the iRacing team for creating such a realistic and just incredible sim racing environment for all of us to play in while the rest of the world is shut down. So probably white flag this time by, I would guess, 28 minutes elapsed. So this is probably our final lap of the race. Time for some... Oh, no white flag. Okay, so I'd be able to see it from the starter stand there. So it looks like I can't tell. Gosh, sorry folks. I'm working with a janky little monitor, and quite honestly, my specs are not the greatest. So yeah, we'll fix that for next week.
This is interesting with Andres pressing Wyatt, and we know Matt Cressy is a heck of a shoe that's going to be right there to add pressure if these guys start going side to side.
Let's get some onboard maybe from Cressy, and we can see how those top two are fighting right now. They're coming up on lap traffic. Now this is going to be significant because we're at the very end. Check it out. Prieto is trying different looks on Gooden, and Gooden may be able to set a pick on both Prieto and Cressy if he can motor up the hill. So it looks like Prieto tried that left-hand line, but again, they're going uphill, and he has to have the momentum going in there. And if that momentum gets disturbed by those slower cars, whoa! Gooden going way offline, trying to defend a little bit, so Prieto is not able to get around him. And Cressy's watching all of this from the catbird seat, getting ready to pounce if there is an incident between our top two as they come into traffic down the corkscrew, seeing a lot of dirt flying around. Look at Prieto. He is getting racy, and Gooden got the pick. But that lap traffic did a really nice job of staying out of the way of the two front runners. They knew they were coming, so hopefully these guys are watching their rearview mirrors, and they won't interfere with the battle for the win. This should be white flag lap. We are now 29 minutes into our 30-minute battle, so we're watching for the white flag as we come up the hill into the first turn. Whoa, everybody's going everywhere. This is crazy. No white flag. Huh, okay, well, we'll just keep calling it. Eventually a checker will come in. Kind of reminds me of Coda with the Spec Miata race where I completely larried it up. Wow, and oh man, Gooden's having to go crazy to keep ahead of Prieto and Cressy. Great racing.
Cressy's got to run.
Cressy's got to run on Prieto. Will called it. And Andres defended a little bit, did a nice job, very sportsmanlike. But I believe we will probably have this being our last time by because we just did pop 30 minutes. All right, exciting. They just cleared through 3 and 4, hit it up the hill now. This will be challenging if they have any lap traffic. Let's go on board with Gooden and see what he sees. All right, this is Wyatt Gooden's view. You can see right there Andres Prieto in that red and white car all over him. Looks like clear sailing. That's good news for Wyatt Gooden. And Cressy just got by Prieto. So there's a lot of drama happening in the top three here on the podium. Wyatt Gooden doing a fantastic job. Oh, a little bit of wheel music there. Kind of got a little crossed up. Had to have some fast hands, but he managed to save it. And there it is. Whoa! Prieto got really loose and got into the weeds. And that gave Cressy the chance to get by. So now Prieto, he's got to be on it. But Wyatt Gooden is eastbound and down. A half second ahead of Cressy, but Cressy now gets his shot at chasing down Wyatt Gooden. So let's watch and see what the flag condition is here. Oh, okay. So they surprise us with a checker. So Matt Cressy on the last lap manages to secure P2. But Wyatt Gooden with a flag-to-flag win. What a clinic. Andres Prieto put on a great show. Gun Kim, once again, P4 with Harry Voigt just behind. Then Aiden Fosnacht, Ferenz Arabian, Nate Olsen, Brandon Panis, P9, Justin Piscatel. He's P10, and that's your top 10 for our second race in the Club Series and the NASA Sim Racing League. Will, that was a good one. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, that was a good one. Always good racing here at WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca, track we love coming to. Great show, 60 NASA drivers. Good stuff. Thank you guys for joining us. Hope to see you tuning in next week for the Pro League here at WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca in the DW12 Dallara IndyCar. Gonna be fun.
So from what we can see, it looks like our hard charger may be Corey Smith down there in P28 up 19 positions from where he started. Anthony Nguyen with a 18 position advance, and Edward Frederick also advancing 18 positions. So great performances all the way through the field. So, folks, thank you for joining us for our Tuesday night fight. We really are thankful to have you all with us, and very thankful for our sponsorship from Toyo Tires, Hawk Performance, and Competition Motorsport. We also have support from Racers 360 and TrackDecals.com. So once again, folks, we will be coming back at you next Tuesday night. We'll probably be live around 6 o'clock Pacific time, but we will update you on all our NASA social media channels. Once again, this was race number 2 from WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca, and this was our club league from our NASA Sim Racing League. Will, any final thoughts?
Super exciting to have everybody come watch this Tuesday nights, have over 100 drivers want to participate with us every Tuesday night, still give us some normality feeling here in some crazy times. Really appreciate everybody coming and driving with us, being a part of it, and everybody for tuning in, and all our sponsors for being a part of this. Thank you to everybody. It means the world to us.
You bet. And a big thank you to our friend Pj Losey at iRacer Source. So with that, folks, we will close our broadcast for this evening. I'm John Lindsey. I was joined by my good friend Will Faules on the podcast tonight. We'll see you next week. Any questions, any comments for improvement, please get them to us, as we want to make the experience just as good for you as it is for us. So stay safe out there, wash your hands, and renew your NASA membership if you can. Take care. Be safe.